It was about a decade ago that I started learning what life is like for a man. I learned about family court system, what it's like dating for you guys, just that you're not appreciated at all. I made a prediction a few years ago that hopefully more women will, like I did, learn by actually listening to the men in our lives. And especially when this starts happening to the sons of women. And I hate to say it, but it starts affecting us because it's affecting a man in our lives. It's starting to happen. I brought the receipts today, but it is starting to happen. I don't know how quickly it can possibly turn the tide. I know we're up against propaganda, we're up against, so many things, but there may be a sliver of hope. And I brought the receipts today to show you guys what I'm talking about. Welcome back to Far From Eden. Now, this runs the gamut from women realizing what's going on for men in dating, women in marriages, learning, wait a second, I need to appreciate this husband, and in broader society. And a lot of you guys, I know if you're still listening, you're going to be like, no, there's no way, nobody gets it. But I'm telling you, the number of women that are understanding this, beginning to understand this, and speaking out about it is growing vastly. And I'll say what I've said before, and it's not popular with the ladies. Well, it will be with the ladies we're going to see today. Shame works. When women put pressure on other women and show them, hey, you're not you should be ashamed of yourself. Case in point. And we'll show you this young lady right now. Because the shame of other women is really how we get those women to change. Because all this girlfriends getting together and men are trash, la la la, can't happen if we shut it down.
Women are all like, he better accept me as I am. And then they turn to the guy and they're like, you need therapy, you need to make more money, and you better level up. Girl, get in line for cat adoptions. Women.
See? Calling out a woman that if she's like, she expects all this to be given to her, but then she's going to criticize him. Calling it out, saying, get in line for cat adoptions. That's the kind of thing we need to hear. Now, I know we get told, oh, Australia is terrible. It's terrible for feminism and the way men are treated and everything. But look, even a spark of hope, perhaps, through this one woman in Australia. I was shocked. Maybe she's from New Zealand. I don't know. You guys tell me. But she's from down there, so.
Something that I wish more women knew about men, and something that I've learned in the last few years that has helped my relationship, and I think it would really help a lot of other relationships, fights, and just overall satisfaction, is that men, their desire for physical intimacy and is more emotional than it is physical.
Okay. You guys might go, what does this have to do with appreciating men or whatever? Because one of the messages that women get from my generation, from going back to Gen X, I don't know if the boomers had this, probably not, but what we were told and we were raised with is that men are all hound dogs. That's all they want. That's all they care about. It's just a physical thing. And they'll even look at their husbands like that. Ugh, that's all he wants. That's all he thinks about. That's all he wants me for, right? Guess what? No, it's not true at all. It's not true at all. And how did I learn? I learned from listening to you guys. You guys have told me. You've said how meaningful it is. It's about the closeness. I know a lot of you guys are like, God, I wish my wife had known that.
If it was physical, he can do that himself. He actually doesn't need us to satisfy those needs. But for them, they need that physical element in order to feel emotionally connected to us, whereas we need emotional connection in order to feel physical. But a lot of the time, women will reject their partner from when he tries because she doesn't want it in that point in time, or she's tired, and that's understandable. But what she doesn't realize is that rejecting him is like him rejecting us for a hug. It's like we're saying, hey, I'm down and I need a hug right now. And he's like, no, I'm too tired for that. And we think it's all about physical because a lot of the time that's kind of what it is for us. Like we don't need that in order to feel an emotional connection to our partner. We need emotional connection and we want that to feel physical. And if you you're consistently rejecting him time and time again, he is going to shut down. And a lot of the time it will shut down, not just physically, he'll stop trying to be intimate with his partner, but he'll also shut down emotionally. And that's why a lot of the time men don't open up. They won't feel like they can come to you. They'll just stop trying altogether. And that is the worst place that they can be. Knowing this myself, knowing what sex meant to my partner and what he got from it, as well as what I got from it, made me more open to getting in the mood, even if I wasn't in the mood at the start. Like often it takes me sometimes a while to actually get in the mood, but I know that once we start, we're there.
Exactly. What she said about it would be like him saying, no, I'm not going to give you a hug. No, I'm not going to show you any tenderness. I love that she's like, well, wait a second. Let me actually understand what this is from his point of view instead of me inventing what I think it is for him, which is what we do all the time to you guys. We're constantly like projecting whatever onto you that works for us. So we can be a victim or whatever. And it's not right. It's a miracle that women are learning this and they're speaking out, because other women will hear this and go, oh, imagine. Because I'm going to tell you what this is like from a female point of view. If a woman who doesn't understand this at all is scrolling through TikTok and this pops up and she's listening, right? And she at least gets this far into it, probably just out of curiosity. And she realizes, oh. And then it starts to get in her brain a little bit like, am I a bad wife? This lady right here, she's very pretty. She's very smart. She seems like she takes really good care of her man. She's making me look bad. Even though she's just a chick on TikTok that you'll never meet or whatever, we are very sensitive to other women making us look bad or things making us look bad. We hate that. It's just a fact. For whatever reason, I think this is probably why the powers that be sort of were like, don't shame anyone, because look at what it has done to female behavior. Removing shame sure did change us. Bringing it back like this. And the other thing that works really well is she's not out there going, you did this and you did this and you're bad, because that doesn't work with us. This works with us.
And it means more to him than just getting off. So I'm more open and receptive to it. And I think if more women understood and knew that, there would be so many more happier relationships. A chicken and the egg situation. Like, who's the first person to make that move? Who's the first person to say, okay, I'm going to do it more, but I want more in return? Because we still need the emotional connection in order to feel the physical. So someone needs to take the lead. Someone needs to be the person that is going to be the big person and is like, okay, I'm going to try more and I'm going to put my best foot forward, give you emotional, give you physical, and see how the relationship will change, because it changed my view on physical intimacy, and I'm having it more than ever because of this.
Exactly. Like she said, someone has to be the bigger person. And that's why what she's saying on this TikTok is so effective, because she's not saying, women, you need to do that. Women need to do that. You're bad, you're bad, you're bad, because we will just, well, you know how we'll be. She's just like, someone needs to be the bigger person. Someone this, and she's showing that she is not afraid to do that. So effective, such an effective way to persuade women and to teach women what we might be doing wrong and how we can improve things. And yes, there are some women out there who cannot hear it and will never hear it. They're so indoctrinated into putting men down, into thinking it's all your all's fault and all of that. But the good thing is, there's always a new crop coming up, right? And this Gen Z crop has seen what has happened before them. And they're the most vocal about all these things, because they're on TikTok and they're not afraid to just say whatever. And I'm hoping that it'll get to some of the more mature women. And it actually has, but I wanted to get to more. And I'm going to show you some of the more mature women that are actually figuring this out and not afraid to put it out there. The term dating coach is like fingernails on a chalkboard to me, because usually it's just a bunch of baloney. But if you want to be heard, and I guess you want to be successful in actually making matches, you're going to have to be able to reach the men. And with the men like walking away more and more and more, which I get it, and they should, because there's nothing in it for them. Why should you bow down? You shouldn't bow down anyways. But I like the effect it's having, because again, this is a more mature woman. I can't tell anymore with the Botox and everything, but she's not a Gen Z. So she's got to be able to like figure out what's going on with the men. And if she, like I said, if she wants to make successful matches, she's going to have to understand the men, and she's going to have to try to get the women to as well. Otherwise, there will be no success. And this is why MGTOW works, because as soon as the men are like, no, I will not date, I will not marry, anything. These terms are unacceptable. Then guess what? The other side needs to move. It's like a negotiation, really. And there are some men that are just checked out, and they'll never, ever go, well, wait a minute. Maybe these terms will work. But what I've found, as much as I try to tell men, like, it's not safe, don't date, don't marry, etc., men are hopeless romantics. And at the end of the day, they do love women, and they want one for theirs. Just like we want that too. That is how we're made. So I've been asked, like, is there any hope? Is there any hope? And I don't want to send you out into the swimming with the sharks, but also I don't want to continuously be black-pilled. I don't think that's a way to live. So let's hear from this more mature lady, the dating coach, and see what she's got to say.
5 things I wish women understood about men. Number 1, that loyalty is pretty much the most important thing for them. If you're disloyal, they will pretty much lose love for you instantaneously. Number 2, if you treat him like a child, you will get childlike responses. It will never work with a man.
Notice, rather than, oh, the man, the man does this, the man does that, which you see plenty of on TikTok. We saw it yesterday. And I'm like, don't worry, guys. I've got the antidote for that. But rather, she's like, no, you don't talk to him like a child. You don't talk to him like a child, and maybe you won't get those responses. Take responsibility. Be accountable. Notice how she's saying that to us without saying it to us. She's just saying, don't talk to him like a child, and maybe you won't get the responses you don't like. Very effective. Women know how to communicate with other women. We are the only ones that can fix any of this. The men's rights movement has been going on since like 1977 and in the 70s, falling upon completely deaf ears because we've been ingrained not to listen to you guys. But we will listen to ourselves. And politicians listen to women too.
Number 3, it's not that hard to get a good man to commit. You're just going after the wrong ones. Good men don't want to play games. They're pretty direct with what they want.
What she's saying there is stop picking losers and then getting angry at all men. Once again, accountability. Stop picking losers. Do you know felons have a higher rate of male felons have a higher rate of reproducing than men who are not felons? I heard that stat the other day and I just was like, what are we even doing? This is who we're choosing. And once again, she's not saying stop picking bad. Your choices, blah, 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 because women hate that. Well, why don't the men? Why are there so many losers? Whatever. Once again, accountability without saying it directly. I know you guys are like, why can't you guys just say what you want to say? I know. I wish I could answer that question. I wish I could say, yeah, we'll be more direct and whatever. I don't know why we think in loop-de-loops.
Number 4, relying on him for your hobby or making him your extracurricular activity will make him feel like he's being suffocated. And number 5, nagging is the quickest way to kill his sex drive. Asking him to do something right when he's walked in the door will also not work. It's about tone and timing. Give me a follow if you find this helpful. And men, drop a comment with some ones that I missed.
See? She's learning. She's listening to you guys. She has figured out, oh, maybe none of this is working because we are not listening to the men. And that's what she thought. She'd be right. Another misconception that women have had about men, and most do right now, is that you guys don't feel deeply. That we're the ones with all the empathy and all the feelings, etc. Well, this Gen Z chick has figured it out. And she's alerting the others. And that's what women are supposed to do. Listen. When Christ resurrected, who did he go to? Who did he appear to first? A woman. Why? Is it because women are supposed to be like the powerful ones and women are more important? No. I believe, you guys tell me if you think this is true. I believe he appeared to a woman first because he knew we would spread the word. And we did. So cheers to these ladies spreading the word about this.
Understanding Guys Part 1. To all my guys watching this, if I am wrong about anything, please let me know and comment down below. Guys have feelings too. They just show it differently. If you guys are talking about an emotional topic and he's not being emotional, he still cares. But we need to understand that guys are not going to cry in front of us unless they're comfortable. And we need to be okay with that. The fact that he's still having that conversation with you and not walking away, that means something.
Exactly. We always expect them to react the way we would react or the way our girlfriends or our mom or our sister would react. And if he doesn't, then we assign something to that, which is not true. It literally means something when the man is still sitting there listening and having that conversation. And we just completely discard that as if it's nothing. And then what does that do? Oh, he's not appreciated because he's not.
If he chooses to hang out with you and not the guys, he likes you. If he introduces you to the guys, you're special in his eyes. If he constantly checks up on you, if he gets protective, sometimes guys being protective can just show that they're a little jealous.
Okay, why is she saying that? Because we've been taught, oh, he's controlling. No. This is him expressing love for you. We have to stop assigning all these, nefarious things to what he's thinking when he behaves a certain way, instead of looking at a man like, okay, this is a completely different creature than than myself. I love this. And this is about appreciating him for who he is and how he expresses himself.
Because they like you. They do not say it, but guys like to be complimented too. Honestly, a simple compliment can make their day.
Exactly. Exactly. We just are fixated on what we want, compliment me and make me the princess, which is no. But like, what happened? Look, I am not like, you need to treat me like a princess and that, but I am for treat him like a king. Because you know what? He's not going to be like, oh, I have all the power and I'm going to. Absolutely not. Treat him like a king. See what happens. He won't start walking all over you. It'll be the opposite. I'm not saying manipulate. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying when you give him that and you love him like that, it comes back in like a tsunami. Because that's men. They need to feel safe to be able to show you how much they love you. And now we're back to a more mature woman. But just as I was saying, treat him like a king. This lady knows where it's at. And I'm so glad she's talking about it because this older generation, we are some of the worst ones. And especially, you know what? The boomers, I'm going to take it back. No, the boomers, because guess what they did? Guess what they were happy to bring in as older teenagers and young 20-somethings? Sexual revolution, liberation, all of that in the late 60s. What did we gain from the late 60s? Oh, I don't know. Widespread birth control pill. Legal fetus deletus. And no-fault divorce. Thanks, boomers. So it's really important. And that's what they passed down. That and turmoil from, divorcing. But that's what they passed down. So for these older women to set a good example, it is key. It's absolutely key. Because they have a track record. This lady has a marriage. She knows of what she speaks. And it sounds like she does treat him like a king.
So you want to know what I do for my man to make him feel loved. Now, I got to be honest with you. I don't think you're asking me this in good faith, but I'm not going to miss an opportunity to brag on myself because I have grown a lot and become a much better partner. Okay, so first of all, I'm a really good cook. Before I was an event planner, I used to be in catering and I know how to cook. So I will cook for him some of his favorite things because my man goes out to eat 3 times a day. So I try to cook him the food he likes with a healthier version of it. And he loves it. And I bring it to him in bed or at the table. And it gives me joy to do that because he does so much for me too.
This is what women need to realize. Serving your man, serving your children, serving your family, above all else, above yourself, is so fulfilling. Now, once again, I will reiterate, yes, there are some people that cannot be woken up from the matrix. There are some women that are just too selfish to ever be able to step out of that. They will just be self-serving. But there are some who can be saved. And be like this woman, like she said, I am so much of a better partner now. I would change that and say you're a better woman now. And I like that she's like, I'm gonna brag on myself. She's proud of this. And that is going to be very good for every woman that watches this, like, oh, I don't do that. Oh, maybe I'm kind of a crappy partner, wife, girlfriend. She doesn't look controlled, does she? Does she look like she's abused in some way? No. She looks incredibly happy and she looks fulfilled. So if a woman is like on her, halfway through her box of wine and surrounded by her cats and saying, I don't need a man, I do all this for myself, but we know she's actually miserable. She's scrolling her TikTok, comes up with this woman. She's probably going to feel pretty angry, pretty resentful, pretty bitter. But I think deep down, she's going to be like, yeah, maybe I did it wrong. But anyway, it's just, I love this woman so much.
Me too. Also, every time that he comes over and we sit and watch TV, he lays his head in my lap, and I spend the next 2 hours, the entire time we're watching TV, and I scratch his back and his head. I put him in a trance, honestly, and he just freaking loves it. Also, I am an emotionally safe place for him to share his feelings. He can come to me and talk about anything. And I really try my best to be curious and not judge, because my goal is for it to be him and I against the problem, not him and I against each other. And he's good at that too. He does love that we have intellectually stimulating conversations. I'm so happy about that because I love him too. But he knows I'm no pushover. He knows I'm going to fact check him.
She's not going to argue with him. She's going to have a good, lively, intellectually stimulating conversation. And to these women that think that when you serve your man, you love your man, you know, you scratch his head, you take care of him, you make him food, that we're just these women that are just beat down and, you know, they don't let us speak and we're chained in the kitchen. No. Men like to, I mean, I guess there are some men that don't talk so much, and that's fine because there are some women who don't talk so much, but they like to have stimulating conversation. We are to be their counsel, which doesn't mean we're the boss, but they need to go somewhere and be like, okay, this is what's going on at work, and I don't know, and just listen. And if he asks you, share your opinion. You will be able to help him sort all that stuff out, sort all that emotion out and that stress out just by being a sounding board for him. And they don't want you to be just a clueless, you know, mealy-mouthed whatever for that. You're not as helpful to them. So yeah, she seems like she's opinionated and she's, you know, and her husband loves that about her. They don't want us all beat down and like, oh, only speak when spoken to and stuff like that. That's just not how it is. They believe their indoctrination.
He knows I'm going to challenge him, and that makes both of us better people. And it makes us present. So I am not on my phone when I'm with him. Our conversations are so good that I don't need to be on my phone or be distracted. So I give him my full attention. He's a very adventurous man, and he likes that I am that way too, as well as social. We can go anywhere, do anything. I'm up for doing anything. I'm up for talking to anybody. And honestly, we have so much fun when we go places. We both think we're the mayors.
So funny. They're so cute. I already love them. I already think they're so cute. She adores this man. And I bet you anything, he's not necessarily over 6 feet tall. He's not necessarily like rich and got this fancy job or whatever, because clearly she loves him. Is she talking about how much money he makes? Is she talking about, no, she's talking about who he is, describing him. We both think we're the mayors. It's so cute. You know, one of the things that I've learned over the last 10 years when I've, you know, been shedding my indoctrination about who men are, what they want, that is, you know, if you just think about yourselves as like third grade best friends in a way, where you just really like that person, just really like your time with that person and enjoy them, not, you know, their career or this, because that wasn't a thing in third grade. You know what I mean? And this lady, look at her face on this pause. She is giddy over him. I chose specific TikToks of women that I am 99.99999% sure genuinely feel this way about men and in general and the men in their lives. Because I'm not interested in just showing women who are just making these TikToks because they think it's the latest trend and they're looking for likes, clicks, whatever. And these women I'm showing you, they believe what they're saying. Now, I would need further discussion with them to be like, now, what if he went through this bad of a time? Or what if this? I think this woman, if her husband like lost his job, became disabled, whatever, I do not think she would bail on him. I do not. I think this woman would be like, all right, I got you. I'm with you. I love you. I still respect you. Of course I do. You're still the best man. And I'm going to do whatever it takes to help you in your time of need, even if that's forever. I believe that about this woman.
He loves that I'm very communicative in the bedroom as well. There's nothing off limits that we can't talk about or try. I am an enthusiastic lover. He likes that I have given him some really thoughtful gifts. It blows my mind how often men don't get gifts, and I think that's sad. They don't have to be expensive, but
It's because we don't know who you are. She knows her man, like I was just saying. She knows him. She loves him. She knows what he would like. She knows what he would need. Big reason. Okay, 2 reasons women don't give men gifts is because we don't spend our money on you guys, which is wrong. And we don't know you. So it's like generic, right? When I was a kid, it was like, get out a tie. Does he like golf? Here's a mug. Does he go fishing? Here's a t-shirt. No, he's more than all those things. He's actually a human being. This lady knows her man.
just thoughtful. And he loves that I compliment him. God, when he wears his cowboy hat, I cannot resist pouring on the compliments because he's such a bear of a man. Anyway, those are the things that I do for my man. Besides just being awesome. And he's awesome too. I feel very grateful that I found a good man and he found a good woman.
Isn't that so fantastic? I don't want to make you guys sad and be like, well, I don't have that, what have you. But I mean, I think hope is very powerful. And it's what I've learned from you guys, that it does something for your souls when you see something good out there, even if you don't have it. Because at the end of the day, you're made in his image, you're made in God's image, and you are attracted to things that are good, true, and beautiful. Not necessarily in that order. Truth is very important to men. And goodness. And so even though you might have been robbed of it, I think from listening to you guys, it does your heart well to be like, it still exists. It still exists somewhere. There is a glimpse of hope. And there is. There is. When you have women out here talking like this about men in general and their particular men, the other women will listen. When you've got women going a little woo in family court and it's laid bare for all to see, I think that's a huge deterrent for women to be that way themselves. Because we don't like to look bad. I know it shouldn't be just that. It shouldn't be, but that's a powerful thing. So I will keep speaking and saying these things for as long as there is breath in my body. And I will open up to every woman I meet. Well, I mean, I'm not just going to be like, hi, can I just tell you something about... But I do. I've spoken to my physical therapist. I've spoken to my apartment manager people, the past one and the current one. I tell all the people, the guy who comes to spray for bugs. I got to tell you guys about that story over on Locals. I got to remember to do that. But anyway, I say this out in the open so people will know. So men will know there are women out here who see you and are fighting for you. And there are women out here that go, can learn that, you know what? We see you too. And we see what you're doing. And we're not going to stand for it anymore. Because I am sick and tired of men being just, slandered. Too many words came to my mind. When I get angry, it's like all the words. I'm sick and tired of it. Because you know who you're talking about? You're talking about the men in my life that I love. And that's personal. And it's getting personal for a lot of us women. And when things get personal for women, we can't do a whole lot physically, but we can start to talk and we can start to shame. And we're doing it. It's happening faster than I thought it would. So I'm keeping tabs on it. Ding. Sorry, I don't know how to turn that off. We're keeping tabs on it. And I've got more to show you next time. It's going to be a special show on Monday evening because it's Labor Day. And, you know, I don't know what you guys are doing. Oh my gosh. It's actually a man. It's actually a man that I know. He's divorced. His wife blew up his marriage. He's having issues. One of his parents is really ill right now. I'm the only one he has to speak to. So once again, when these women are out here and they're blasting all these men, they're talking about him. They're talking about my friend. And I'm not going to have it anymore. Look, it's personal. So on that note, I better get back to him. I gotta give him some comfort in this time. But you guys, protect your peace, feed your soul. I love you guys. And I'll see you over on Locals tomorrow and over on Literary Archaeology tomorrow as well. Don't forget to go follow those channels, places, platforms, whatever, and like this video. Help it travel out into the ether. Let's dominate the algorithm. Subscribe to the channel. And just remember, I love you guys. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye.